Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you're enjoying this, hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. The year is 20X7. You wake up in the middle of Criteria's brutal, wind-scoured surface. A sharp, metallic tang cuts through the air, mixing with the acrid scent of ozone and something burnt, something organic. It's the first thing you register, a rude intrusion into the silence. You try to move, and a groan escapes your lips. Or maybe it's the suit, a deep, grinding protest from its internal servos. Your head throbs, a persistent, dull ache that pulses behind your eyes, syncing with the frantic beat in your chest. You push with your arms, trying to find purchase on the cold, unforgiving rock beneath you. Jagged edges dig into your armored gauntlets, sending shivers up your arms despite the suit's insulation. Your vision blurs, a kaleidoscope of red-orange sky swirling with the static of a failing display. You blink hard, focusing, forcing the world into some semblance of order. Above you, the alien sky is a tapestry of violent crimson and bruised violet, a sight that feels both familiar and deeply wrong. Around you, debris is scattered like the aftermath of a catastrophic temper tantrum. Twisted metal, shattered circuitry, and chunks of what looks like composite plating are strewn across the desolate landscape. A faint, high-pitched whine cuts through the constant rush of the wind, a dying echo from a power conduit or a damaged engine. You push again, gritting your teeth, the effort sending a jolt of pain down your spine. Each movement feels like a battle, your limbs heavy, sluggish, as if gravity itself has intensified its grip. You roll onto your side, the world tilting precariously, threatening to pull you back into unconsciousness. Your hand instinctively goes to your chest, feeling for the familiar hum of your power suit's energy core, but all you feel is the cold, unyielding plating. No warmth, no reassuring thrum. Panic, cold and sharp, begins to prickle at the edges of your awareness. What happened? How did you get here? The answers feel just out of reach, buried beneath the fog of impact and disorientation. Slowly, painfully, you manage to sit upright. The wind whips past you, carrying fine dust that stings your faceplate. You scan the horizon, your gaze sweeping over the endless expanse of rust-colored rock and distant, craggy peaks. There's no sign of the ship, no sign of anything familiar except the desolation itself. Just you, battered and broken, on a world that feels determined to swallow you whole. You realize, as the wind howls its lonely song, that this isn't just an awakening, it's a stark, brutal rebirth. Your body, despite the incredible trauma, has held together, a testament to its raw, unyielding will to simply exist. The wind, a constant, gritty rasp, scrapes against your visor, a relentless whisper that speaks of endless, unforgiving space. Dust devils dance in the distance, tiny whirlwinds kicking up plumes of red particulate against the bruised horizon. You sit there, a silent, unmoving monument to a crash. The battered plating of your suit, a stark contrast to the vast, empty expanse that stretches out before you. You push yourself to your feet, a slow, arduous process. Each servo groans, a mechanical ache echoing the protest in your own muscles. Your legs feel like lead, heavy and unresponsive, but you force them to move, one agonizing inch at a time. The ground beneath your armored boots is a patchwork of jagged rock and compacted dust, offering little give, demanding constant vigilance to maintain your balance. You take a hesitant step, then another, the metallic clang of your boot on rock, the only sound breaking the wind's monotone. Your gaze sweeps across the barren landscape, trying to make sense of the overwhelming emptiness. Criteria. It's not just a name. It's a feeling, a crushing weight of isolation. Far off, On the jagged peaks that claw at the crimson sky, you can almost make out the distorted silhouettes of ancient structures, or perhaps just natural formations playing tricks on your disoriented mind. There's a curious glimmer, a faint, almost imperceptible shimmer, high up on one of those distant spires, but it's too far to discern, too vague to offer any immediate hope. You lift a gauntleted hand, bringing it to the side of your helmet, trying to tap into your suit's comms, to get a system readout. Nothing. Just a faint, hollow hiss in your audio feed. The ghost of a connection that refuses to materialize. The internal displays flicker, the damage reports scrolling in garbled text, a jumble of red warnings and unreadable diagnostics. Your arm cannon feels heavy, inert, a dead weight at your side, its power cells undoubtedly depleted, perhaps even ruptured. A strange, low rumble vibrates through the ground, a deep, resonant hum that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. You freeze, your head snapping up, trying to pinpoint its origin. It's not the wind, not a tremor. It feels alive. It's a deep vibration that courses through your bones, a stark reminder that even in this desolate void, you are not entirely alone, though whatever caused it remains hidden beneath the undulating red dust. You take a deep breath, or rather, your suit's environmental systems cycle a filtered breath for you. It's recycled air, tasting faintly metallic, but it's air nonetheless. You are alive. You are here. The crushing indifference of this world is a palpable thing, a heavy cloak draped over everything, yet there's a flicker of something stubborn, something defiant, within you. It's the will to push forward, to understand, to simply endure. A thick, humid breath washes over you, damp and heavy, carrying the unmistakable scent of rich, damp earth and something sweet, yet faintly acrid, the smell of thriving, alien fungus. It's a stark, almost suffocating contrast to the thin, metallic air of Criteria's surface, a sudden immersion into a vibrant, living lung of a world. Water drips nearby, a soft, persistent plink against unseen surfaces, echoing through the cavernous space you now find yourself in. You push through a curtain of thick, fibrous vines, their slick surfaces brushing against your visor, leaving trails of condensation. The air here isn't just humid. It feels alive, a tangible presence pressing in from all sides. Your boots sink slightly into the soft, yielding ground, a mix of compacted soil and decaying organic matter. Strange, bulbous fungi, some glowing with a soft, bioluminescent pulse of green and purple, sprout from every crack and crevice, illuminating the subterranean gloom with an otherworldly glow. Your visor's display flickers, trying to recalibrate to the low light, projecting vague contours of massive, ancient roots that twist and writhe like petrified serpents, forming natural arches and tunnels. These aren't artificial corridors. This is the very sinew of the planet, living architecture carved by millennia of growth. The sounds are different here, too. The constant wind is replaced by a symphony of gentle drips, distant skittering, and a low, guttural hum that vibrates through the rock, a deeper pulse than anything you felt on the surface. You reach out, your gauntlet brushing against a cluster of glowing mushrooms. They feel strangely warm, almost spongy, and a faint shower of spores drifts upward, catching the faint light before dissipating. Your suit's internal sensors register an elevated biological presence, an almost overwhelming array of alien flora and fauna, all thriving in this damp, enclosed ecosystem. Every shadow seems to hold a secret. Every rustle of unseen leaves suggests movement. You find yourself moving slower, more deliberately, each step a conscious act of navigating this dense, vibrant labyrinth. A ripple of movement catches your eye in the periphery, a flash of iridescent green disappearing into a thicket of glowing flora. You don't get a clear look, but the suddenness of it, The almost fluid grace sends a jolt of awareness through you. This place is not empty. It is teeming, brimming with a life that demands respect and perhaps caution. You are merely a visitor in this ancient, thriving garden, a heavy, armored intruder trying to understand its rules. The sheer density of life here, the way it reclaims and transforms, is humbling. After the harsh, dead expanse above, this subterranean world feels like a defiant heart, beating with an unyielding rhythm, reminding you that even in the face of destruction, life always finds a way to blossom, to adapt, to simply be. A deep, rhythmic thrumming pulses through the very rock beneath your boots, a low vibration that resonates in your chest, a constant, booming heartbeat that feels like it's coming from inside you. The air here is thick, warm, almost steamy, carrying a faint mineral tang mixed with something vaguely biological, like warm blood or damp living tissue. It's a completely different kind of humidity than the fungal-rich air outside, denser, more oppressive. You press forward, squeezing through a narrow passage where the walls seem to press in on all sides, the rock face slick with condensation. The tunnel ahead isn't a smooth bore, it's a living conduit, its surfaces mottled with strange, vein-like structures that seem to subtly expand and contract with each beat of that deep thrum. Your armored shoulders scrape against the damp rock, the sound a grating protest in the enclosed space. You have to turn your body sideways, inching forward, the claustrophobia a cold, tightening grip around your throat. The light is dim, a sickly, reddish glow emanating from the pulsating veins embedded in the walls, casting, shifting, distorted shadows that make the already tight space feel even more alive, more confining. Every few paces, the passage constricts further, forcing you to brace your hands against the yielding, almost spongy rock to push yourself through. It's like navigating the esophagus of some colossal, slumbering beast. Then you hear it. Not a distinct voice, but a chorus of faint, indistinct whispers, a low, murmuring current that seems to weave through the thrumming. It's too faint to decipher, too elusive to pinpoint, yet it's undeniably there, an auditory hallucination born from the oppressive silence and the constant vibration, or something far more unnerving. You stop, head tilted, straining your audio sensors, but the whispers recede, replaced by the persistent, rhythmic beat of the core. As you resume your laborious crawl, the floor beneath you feels softer, almost cushioned, as if you're treading on a living membrane. The air grows warmer still, so warm it feels like a heavy blanket. The walls around you are not static. You can perceive a subtle, almost imperceptible breathing, a slow expansion and contraction that accompanies the core's thrum. Every inch of movement is an effort, a battle against the crushing closeness, the relentless warmth, and the unnerving suggestion of unseen, unheard entities speaking in the very architecture of this place. This subterranean heart, this pulsating core, doesn't just surround you, it absorbs you. Here, in this tight, breathing space, the sheer, undeniable presence of life, in its most alien and primal form, wraps around you, making you feel both impossibly small and intensely aware of your own beating heart within your heavy shell. A sudden, suffocating blast of heat hits you, thick and scalding, making your environmental controls whir frantically to compensate. The air here isn't just hot. It feels like liquid fire, heavy with the choking stench of sulfur and superheated rock, a sharp, metallic tang that burns the back of your throat, even through your suit's filters. Your visor fogs for a split second, the sudden temperature shock almost overwhelming your internal systems. You step forward, and the ground beneath your boots is no longer soft earth or cold rock, but a rough, obsidian-like surface, radiating an intense heat that seems to seep directly into your armor. You can almost feel the soles of your boots melting, though you know the material is designed to withstand far worse. The warmth is immediate, aggressive, a constant oppressive weight that tries to bake you alive. Before you, the cavern opens into a vast, hellish expanse, illuminated by the angry, pulsing glow of molten lava rivers snaking across the cavern floor. Great geysers of superheated steam erupt periodically from fissures in the walls, hissing and roaring as they blast upwards, momentarily obscuring your view. The soundscape here is a symphony of geological fury, the low guttural growl of the magma, the sharp crackle of cooling rock, and the ceaseless, infernal whisper of escaping gases. Your suit's temperature warnings flash red, a relentless, insistent alarm that demands attention. You press a gloved hand against a nearby wall, and even through the thick insulation, you can feel the intense, searing heat radiating from it. The rock itself seems to shimmer, distorting the air around it, creating wavy mirages of the already brutal landscape. Strange, fire-resistant flora clings precariously to ledges, its leaves a dark, leathery red, absorbing the heat without wilting, a testament to life's adaptability even in this crucible. Every step is deliberate, measured. You skirt the edge of a flowing river of orange-red molten rock, the heat rising off it so intense it feels like a physical punch. You can see bubbles of gas bursting on its surface, sending showers of incandescent spray into the air before it quickly cools into brittle black fragments. Your suit's internal cooling systems are working overtime, a constant, low thrumming against the roar of the inferno, barely holding the internal temperature at a tolerable level. This isn't just heat, it's a living, breathing entity, a primal force that demands respect and threatens to consume everything. Moving through Norfair feels like walking through the very core of a hostile star, a constant, searing reminder that survival here is a moment-to-moment battle against an environment intent on reducing you to slag. The dry, burning sensation in your throat is a constant, irritating presence, a phantom thirst that persists despite your suit's internal hydration systems working their hardest. The air, thick with sulfur and heat, feels like sandpaper against your environmental filters. Every breath you cycle feels diminished, leaving a residue of desperation. Below you, the molten sea churns, a river of incandescent orange, spitting sparks and boiling gases. Its warmth, a deadly, hypnotic embrace. You navigate a series of narrow, precarious ledges, carved seemingly at random into the volcanic rock face. Each step is a careful negotiation, your boots scraping against the sharp, uneven surface. The heat radiating up from the lava below is so intense, it warps the air, making the already treacherous path shimmer and distort, playing tricks on your perception of depth and stability. You can feel the tremor of the ground, a constant, low vibration that speaks of the immense geological forces at play just beneath your feet. Ahead, a gap opens, too wide to step across, too perilous to jump without some assistance. A series of metallic platforms, rusted and pitted by the extreme conditions, are spaced intermittently across the chasm, seemingly leading to another ledge on the far side. They look unstable, ancient, barely clinging to their moorings. Your suit's integrity readings are already strained, and the thought of relying on such flimsy footing sends a jolt of unease through you. You take a deep, internal breath, gathering your resolve. The first platform creaks under your weight as you carefully step onto it, sending a small shower of rust and loose rock clattering into the magma below. The sound is swallowed by the roar of the lava, but the vibrations of the platform are distinct, a metallic shudder that reverberates up through your legs. You press on, moving with a deliberate, almost exaggerated slowness, testing each foothold, your gaze fixed on the next unstable metallic step. Midway across, a sudden sharp tremor shakes the cavern. A shower of small rocks rains down from the ceiling, pinging off your helmet. One of the platforms ahead groans audibly, then visibly shifts, a thick bolt suddenly snapping free from the rock face with a loud, metallic shriek. It swings wildly for a moment, then detaches completely, plunging into the molten abyss with a violent splash of superheated magma. You freeze, balanced precariously on a swaying platform, the sudden loss of your intended path, a stark reminder of Norfair's indifferent treachery. The thirst intensifies, a dry, rasping demand against the backdrop of the inferno. This place doesn't just want to burn you. It wants to deceive you, to trick you into falling, into becoming another forgotten piece of debris swallowed by its molten depths. Survival here isn't just about strength. It's about cunning, about outwitting a world designed to kill. A sudden, chilling embrace of icy cold water engulfs you, thick and immense, pressing in on every inch of your armored body. The world around you shifts from searing heat to a heavy, crushing dark, and the air in your suit feels suddenly precious, finite. A faint, briny scent, almost metallic, filters into your environmental systems, a taste of the deep, alien ocean that now surrounds you. You are falling, tumbling end over end, through the murky depths, a silent descent into the unknown. The impact from whatever propelled you here must have been severe. Your suit groans under the immense pressure, protesting with creaks and subtle groans that echo in the muffled silence. Your internal displays flicker wildly, distorting the already dim view. The sheer weight of the water is a physical presence, a constant, unyielding squeeze that seems intent on compressing you into nothingness. Your limbs feel sluggish, heavy as you try to orient yourself. You flail, or at least attempt to, the water resisting your every movement, turning powerful thrusts into slow, deliberate pushes. Your vision, aided by your suit's low-light amplification, is a swirling canvas of indistinct blues and greens, punctuated by the faint, shimmering trails of bioluminescent plankton. Massive, dark shapes drift in the extreme distance, too far and too vague to identify. But their sheer scale hints at the colossal life forms that must inhabit this abyss. The sounds are utterly transformed. The roaring inferno of Norfair is replaced by a profound, pervasive silence, broken only by the subtle hum of your suit's struggling systems and the muffled, distant echoes of something large moving through the water. It's like being sealed inside a soundproof vault, yet aware of vast, unseen forces just beyond the steel. Every minute crack and groan of your armor is magnified in this quiet, liquid world, a stark reminder of the fragile boundary between you and the crushing darkness. A faint, luminescent current, a river of glowing particles, drifts past your visor, a fleeting ribbon of light in the overwhelming gloom. You stretch a gauntleted hand towards it, and the water parts with surprising resistance, carrying the particles away. There's a strange, almost serene beauty to this crushing environment, a deadly tranquility. But the serenity is deceptive. Every cell of your being screams a warning, a primal understanding of the danger of this profound depth. Here, in Meridia's abyss, the fight isn't just against creatures or heat. It's against the very elements, against a liquid world that threatens to collapse your very existence. It's a battle not of strength, but of endurance, of simply existing against the immense, indifferent force of the ocean itself. You are a trespasser in a world that tolerates no foreign bodies, a fragile bubble of life against an infinity of water. You feel it before you see it, a strange, almost imperceptible current tugging at your limbs, pulling you gently through the vast, dark water. Your suit's gyros fight to stabilize, But the ocean here is a silent, immense force, dictating your movement with an indifferent hand. The crushing pressure remains, a constant, heavy blanket, but now it's paired with an eerie, weightless drift. The deep, briny smell has faded, replaced by the faint, clinical tang of your recycled air. Your visor's filters struggle, but the darkness is punctuated by a scattered tapestry of light. Pinpricks of bioluminescence, tiny living stars, drift past like slow-motion meteor showers. Some are solitary, others coalesce into shimmering clouds, momentarily illuminating unseen currents. They pulse with soft, ethereal blues, greens, and purples, painting fleeting patterns on the obsidian walls of the cavern, ancient rock formations that loom like sleeping leviathans in the distance. The silence is profound, absolute, broken only by the soft whir of your suit's life support and the slow, heavy throb of your own heart. You reach out, a slow, deliberate motion in the resisting water, trying to catch one of the larger, glowing motes. Your gauntlet glides through nothing but water, the light slipping away, a phantom in the depths. There's a strange, almost hypnotic quality to the endless drift. The way you're carried along, a passenger in this colossal, living current. It strips away the illusion of control, leaving only the raw sensation of being, of simply existing in this alien, liquid space. Then, something brushes against your side, soft and yielding, yet with a subtle, unidentifiable texture. It's not rough, not sharp, but a living, almost gelatinous touch that sends a jolt through you. You flinch, an instinctive recoil, your suit's internal alarms spiking for a silent second before you regain your composure. You twist, scanning the gloom, but whatever touched you has already vanished back into the bioluminescent haze, leaving only a lingering sense of its ephemeral presence, a phantom caress in the dark. The encounter leaves you with a heightened sense of vulnerability, a stark reminder of the teeming, unseen life that surrounds you in this immense aquatic realm. You are an intruder here, a heavy, clunky anomaly, amidst the graceful silent dance of the abyss. The bioluminescent lights continue their silent performance, an indifferent spectacle in a world that extends far beyond your comprehension, reminding you of the profound, humbling isolation of being utterly alone in a place so vast and so deeply, terribly alive. A stale, metallic scent, sharp with a tang of ozone and long-dead electronics, fills your helmet. It's a dry, cold air, utterly stagnant, a stark contrast to the humid breath of Brinstar or the searing inferno of Norfair. You feel a profound, silent chill radiating through your power suit, not just from the ambient temperature, but from the utter absence of warmth, of life, of purpose. You stand on a warped floor panel, a faint grating sound echoing in the profound silence as your boot shifts. Around you, the vast interior of what was once a starship stretches into the gloom. Twisted bulkheads, stripped wires hanging like dead vines, and shattered conduits define the space. The artificial gravity here is weak, almost imperceptible, lending an unsettling lightness to your movements. Dust motes, thick and ancient, hang, suspended in the occasional shafts of light that pierce through jagged holes in the hull far above, like slow-motion snow. Your optical sensors strain against the pervasive darkness. Most of the ship's systems are dead, leaving vast sections in oppressive shadow. A single, failing emergency light blinks erratically down a distant corridor, casting long, dancing shadows that make mangled debris appear to shift and writhe. It's a lonely, desperate beacon in a graveyard of technology. You move forward, your heavy footsteps surprisingly loud in the stillness, the sound swallowed by the cavernous interior as quickly as it's made. You run a gauntleted hand, along a section of wall that hasn't completely collapsed. The metal beneath your fingers is cold, rough with corrosion, flaking away into fine, rusty powder. You push a discarded data terminal with your foot, and it skitters across the deck plating with a hollow, metallic clang, the screen dark, inert. Whatever power source once animated this vessel is long gone, leaving only the ghosts of its function. Ahead, a massive blast door lies crumpled and half open, wrenched from its hinges, revealing a passage that seems to lead deeper into the ship's decaying heart. The air flowing from it is even colder, carrying a faint, lingering scent of something deeply unpleasant, something that speaks of long-term decay, perhaps even biological stagnation. You pause at the threshold, your suit's internal sensors picking up faint, intermittent static, a whisper of interference from long-dormant systems or something far more sinister lingering within. This place isn't just ruined, it's mournful. Every twisted beam, every shattered display speaks of a catastrophic end, a violent cessation of purpose. You realize, standing amidst the cold silence of this technological tomb, that even the most formidable creations of intelligence are ultimately subject to the relentless, erosive power of time and the indifferent grip of decay. The stale air deepens here, carrying a faint, sweetish odor now, something beyond mere decay, a hint of ancient fear and spilled life. Your internal sensors register minute fluctuations, phantom power signatures that wink into existence then vanish, like distant memories trying to surface from the ship's dead circuits. The profound chill radiating through your suit feels less like temperature and more like sorrow, a heavy blanket of unspoken history. You move through a corridor where sections of the floor have buckled, forcing you to step carefully over jagged edges of torn metal. The silence isn't empty. It's a packed, heavy silence, as if the very air holds its breath, preserving a moment of catastrophic impact. Overhead, support beams are twisted into grotesque art, suggesting the immense forces that rip this vessel apart. Dust motes, thick as fog, still hang heavy in the air, eternally trapped in the aftermath. You pass what was once a crew quarters, the door panels scorched and fused half open. Inside, bunks are ripped from their moorings, debris scattered in chaotic disarray. On one wall, etched crudely into the grimy plating, you see a set of tally marks, half finished, a desperate countdown that ended abruptly. You trace the rough lines with a gloved finger, feeling the cold, hard surface, the silent testament to someone's last days, their last hopes. It's a gut punch, a human touch in this cold, metallic tomb, a sudden, sharp connection to the lives violently extinguished here. Further in, you find yourself in what appears to be a command center. Consoles are shattered, monitors cracked and black. The pilot's seat is ripped, its padding spilling out like entrails. But on the main control panel, despite the widespread destruction, a single, small data chip lies nestled in its slot, seemingly untouched by the cataclysm. Its casing is a familiar standard issue. You reach for it, your movement slow, deliberate. As your fingers brush the cold plastic, a faint, almost imperceptible pulse radiates from it, a brief surge of static through your comms, a ghostly echo of information, of voices, of a final transmission cut short. The silence that follows is even heavier, charged with the weight of that fleeting whisper, that hint of a story untold. This wreckage isn't just a collection of twisted metal, it's a monument, a silent scream frozen in time. Every mangled girder, every discarded item, every unread message tells a fragment of a tragic past. A past that still lingers. A haunting presence in the cold, dead heart of this ship. You realize that sometimes the greatest weight isn't what you carry, but what a place refuses to let go of. A low, insistent hum, cold and purely mechanical, vibrates through your entire being, a constant drone that seems to penetrate your suit and resonate in your bones. The air here is thin, sterile, completely devoid of natural scents, carrying only a faint, sharp tang of ozone and highly refined metallic alloys. It's an oppressive clarity, a clean, silent threat that presses in on you from all sides. You move through perfectly sculpted corridors, walls made of a seamless, dark gray material, gleaming under the cold, blue light of recessed panels that line the ceiling. There are no imperfections here, no crumbling rock or dripping water, just cold, unyielding precision. Every angle is sharp, every surface polished, creating a sense of being inside an immense, intricate machine, rather than a natural cavern. Your footsteps, usually heavy, feel almost muted on the dense, shock-absorbing floor, a small concession in a place designed for absolute efficiency. Ahead, a sudden, rhythmic series of clicks echoes down the hallway, fast and deliberate, like immense, articulated legs scurrying just out of sight. Your internal sensors spike, picking up faint, rapid movement signatures, too quick and too precise to be organic. You instinctively press yourself against the smooth wall, feeling the cold, clinical metal against your suit, waiting, your breath held. The clicks pass, unseen, a metallic ghost, leaving behind an intensified feeling of being monitored, of being an unwelcome anomaly in a system built for absolute control. As you cautiously continue, a narrow laser grid, barely visible in the dim blue light, flickers into existence across the path ahead, its beams a silent, deadly spiderweb. Your suit's auto-scanners immediately register the energy signatures, the lethal precision of each beam. It's not a chaotic explosion or a brute force attack. It's a calculated, programmed response, an automated sentinel reacting to your presence with cold, machine logic. There's no organic unpredictability here, no room for error, just the immediate, efficient threat of pure energy. You shift your weight, assessing the grid, knowing that bypassing it will require a level of calculated movement that feels almost alien to your instincts. This place isn't alive in the way Brinstar was, or furiously alive like Norfair. It is engineered to be hostile, meticulously crafted for elimination. Every hum, every click, every silent flash of light serves a singular, unyielding purpose. The environment itself is a weapon, a vast, complex mechanism designed to relentlessly hunt and destroy. You realize that against such a perfectly designed, impersonal enemy, your own survival feels less like an act of strength and more like a stubborn, illogical defiance against the inevitability of cold, mechanical order. A low, persistent thrum vibrates through the very soles of your boots, a cold, unwavering bass note that feels less like a sound and more like a pervasive pressure against your consciousness. The air, though recycled by your suit, feels thin and somehow watched, carrying a faint, clean scent of processed metal and ozone. It's the smell of absolute control, of a system perpetually active. You move through an unforgiving maze of perfectly symmetrical corridors, the polished, dark gray walls reflecting the cold blue light of the embedded panels like obsidian mirrors. There's no dust here, no sign of decay, just sterile, flawless surfaces that stretch into unsettling vanishing points. Each turn reveals another identical stretch, another path engineered for function, not life. Your boots create faint, almost imperceptible echoes on the dense floor, sounds that seem to be instantly absorbed by the immense, silent structure around you. Suddenly, a subtle shift in the ambient hum, it deepens. A barely perceptible change in frequency, and your suit's internal sensors flicker with a rapid, barely visible wave of energy. It's a sweep, a silent, invisible eye passing over your position. You instinctively flatten yourself against the cool, smooth wall, trying to disappear into the geometry, your breath held tight within your helmet. You don't see anything, no drone or sentinel, but the feeling of being precisely located, of having your presence registered by an indifferent, calculating mind, is absolute. You push forward, now moving with a heightened, almost frantic caution. Every shadowed corner, every distant, rhythmic hiss of a pneumatic door opening and closing in the far reaches of the fortress intensifies the sensation of being hunted. This isn't a creature stalking prey. This is a system, vast and interconnected, narrowing its parameters, drawing its invisible net. The cold logic of its design is palpable, a silent threat that resonates deeper than any roar. Ahead, a series of low-frequency pulses emanates from a vent in the wall, too subtle to be a direct attack, but your suit's diagnostics identify it as an environmental scan, a constant data stream flowing back to a central intelligence. It's not trying to hit you, it's cataloging you, predicting your movements, learning. You are a variable, an anomaly to be processed and eliminated. The cold certainty of that realization is more chilling than any physical assault. Here, in the depths of Turian, you are not just traversing a landscape. You are a target in a meticulously designed, emotionless hunt. The fortress itself is the predator, its vast, intelligent network, an unseen force that calculates, tracks, and inexorably advances. Your struggle here is a testament not just to physical resilience, but to the stubborn, illogical refusal of life to be neatly categorized and extinguished by cold, perfect logic. A profound, almost reverent silence descends, thicker than any you've encountered, unbroken by the mechanical hum of Turian or the rush of Criteria's winds. It's a silence that speaks of ages, of deep wisdom, of stillness. The air here, oddly pure and cool, carries a faint, earthy scent mixed with something else, something metallic, yet organic, like ancient stone breathing. It feels like stepping into a forgotten sanctuary. You stand at the threshold of a vast chamber, bathed in a soft, ethereal glow that seems to emanate from the very architecture. The walls are not rough rock or cold steel, but an incredibly smooth, seamless material, polished to a mirror-like sheen. It feels like obsidian kissed by moonlight. You reach out a gloved hand, pressing it against the surface, and it's cool, almost unnaturally smooth, a sensation that transmits a strange sense of calm through your suit, a stark contrast to the rough brutality of the outside world. Intricate carvings adorn the walls, swirling patterns and abstract symbols that seem to hum with a dormant energy. They depict feathered figures, celestial bodies, and creatures that blur the line between animal and machine. Your visor's display tries to scan them, but the symbols resist easy categorization, hinting at a language, a history, far beyond your immediate understanding. The light here is gentle, casting no harsh shadows, illuminating the ancient artistry with a soft, timeless radiance. In the center of the chamber, a colossal statue rises, a stylized representation of a bird-like being, its posture one of serene contemplation. Its surface is the same smooth, dark material as the walls, but it seems to absorb and diffuse the ambient light, giving it an almost living quality. You approach it, your footsteps softer than ever, almost swallowed by the silence. As you draw near, a faint, almost imperceptible resonance emanates from the statue, a silent vibration that you feel more than hear, a gentle hum that seems to awaken something deep within your suit's power cells, a subtle surge of energy. You lift your arm cannon, now feeling lighter, more responsive, its dormant power beginning to stir. The carvings around you seem to pulse faintly in response, as if the ancient technology is recognizing a familiar echo. There's no hostility here, no immediate threat, only the profound, melancholic presence of a forgotten, powerful civilization, their wisdom etched into the very stones. This place isn't just an archaeological site. It's a living echo of a vanished intelligence. The smooth touch of the Chozo architecture, the silent hum of their dormant power, feels like a conversation across eons. A gentle whisper reminding you of the incredible heights of creation and the enduring legacy that even silence can hold. A faint, almost imperceptible warmth emanates from a section of the seamless wall, drawing your gaze like a silent beacon. The air, still pure and cool, hums with a barely audible resonance, a soft, high-pitched frequency that feels like it's vibrating directly behind your eyes. It's the sound of stored knowledge, of dormant energy waiting to be read. You step closer, your gloved hand instinctively reaching towards the intricate patterns etched into the stone. They're not simple pictures. They're a language woven from light and shadow, layers upon layers of swirling lines and geometric shapes that seem to shift and reconfigure with your perception. Your suit's universal translator flickers, overwhelmed by the sheer complexity, offering only fragmented concepts: harmony, cycle, warning, legacy, sacrifice. As you trace the contours of a particular glyph with your fingertip, a surge of faint energy pulses through your arm, a gentle jolt that bypasses your suit's protective layers and reaches something deeper within you. It's not pain, but a sudden, overwhelming influx of silent understanding, like a forgotten memory unlocking. You perceive vast stretches of time, the rise and fall of celestial bodies, the quiet reverence of a people dedicated to cosmic balance. You see their profound connection to this planet, their stewardship, their deep respect for all life. The soft, ethereal light in the chamber seems to intensify, playing across the carvings, making them appear to breathe, to pulse with the very stories they tell. You can almost feel the gentle touch of the Chozo, their ancient wisdom seeping into your consciousness, guiding your gaze from one interwoven narrative thread to another. It's a history lesson absorbed not through words, but through an intuitive, almost spiritual connection, a sense of shared purpose, echoing across millennia. A subtle shift in the patterns, a deepening of shadow within certain glyphs, brings a chill to the reverence. Some symbols now clearly depict scenes of encroaching chaos, of a delicate harmony being disrupted by aggressive, consuming forces. There's a profound sense of impending doom, of a desperate, deliberate flight, and ultimately, a somber, resolute self-erasure. The images aren't violent, but their message is stark, a haunting echo of a people making a terrible choice for the greater good. You feel the immense weight of their final acts, their hopes for a future they would not live to see, embedded in these silent, shimmering lines. This isn't just a dead language on an ancient wall. It's a living testament, a silent cry from a civilization that chose wisdom over brute force, foresight over oblivion. In these intricate patterns, you find not just a record of their past, but a quiet, enduring lesson for your own present, that even in ruins, the most powerful truths can persist, echoing across the vast emptiness of time, waiting for someone to listen, someone to carry on. A sudden internal spark, a crackle of pure energy, erupts deep within your power suit, sending a tingling surge through your entire body. It's an electrical hum that starts in your core, radiating outwards, making the very plating of your armor vibrate with newfound power. The sterile air inside your helmet suddenly feels charged, almost alive with potential. You stand before an ancient Chozo artifact, a pedestal glowing with a soft, pulsing light that mirrors the energy now coursing through you. As the tingling sensation intensifies, your vision flickers, and for a split second, you see not just the world through your visor, but a schematic overlay of your own suit, lines of energy flowing, conduits strengthening, systems upgrading themselves with impossible speed. It's an intuitive understanding, a primal recognition of enhanced capabilities. You lift your arm cannon, and it no longer feels like a heavy, inert appendage. Instead, it feels like an extension of your very will, light and responsive. A faint, almost imperceptible whine emanates from its barrel, a quiet promise of unleashed force. You flex your fingers inside your gauntlet, and the internal mechanisms respond with a fluid, effortless grace that was absent moments before. Your grip feels stronger, more precise, as if the suit itself has become more attuned to your every thought. A low, guttural growl echoes from a distant, unexplored cavern, a sound that would have previously sent a jolt of concern through your damaged systems. Now, as the sound registers, your suit's internal systems auto-adjust, enhancing your audio filters, pinpointing the origin with startling clarity. There's a new confidence, a quiet readiness that settles over you, a profound shift from mere survival to active capability. The growl still holds danger, but now you feel equipped, no longer simply enduring but prepared to engage. You try a subtle movement, an experimental flex of your leg muscles. Immediately, your suit's hydraulic systems respond with an almost instantaneous burst of power, lifting your armored form higher than expected, your landing cushioned with an unnatural lightness. It's more than just enhanced strength. It's a symbiotic evolution, the ancient Chozo technology interfacing with your biology, transforming your very limits. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a reawakening, a rebirth of purpose. The tingling surge of energy, the silent hum of new systems coming online, the effortless responsiveness of your armor, all combine into a singular, undeniable truth. You are more than you were. The suit has evolved, and with it, so have you, transforming from a survivor into something far more capable, far more formidable. A phantom chill ripples through your fingers, a sensation that has nothing to do with temperature and everything to do with a newly acquired sixth sense. The pure, clean air inside your suit now feels charged, not just with power, but with information, a constant, subtle flow of data from the environment that bypasses your primary sensors and interfaces directly with your consciousness. You stand in the ancient Chozo chamber, bathed in its soft, ethereal glow, but now the world looks different. Your visor's display, usually a window, is now a dynamic canvas, overlaying the physical reality with an intricate web of energy signatures, subtle atmospheric shifts, and barely perceptible vibrations. You see heat plumes rising from hidden vents in the walls, feel the faint, rhythmic pulse of underground water currents, and detect the minute, biological rhythms of unseen creatures burrowing deep beneath the floor. It's an overwhelming influx, a sudden immersion into the planet's hidden lifeblood. You close your eyes, or, rather, you force your suit's optical sensors to temporarily darken, trying to filter the torrent of new data. The internal imagery persists. The faint electromagnetic field of a power conduit buried 20 feet below, the precise atmospheric pressure variations indicating a hidden passage just beyond the visible wall, the minute seismic activity of a distant geological shift. It's like seeing the world through new eyes, hearing it through a vastly expanded auditory spectrum. You extend your arm, aiming your cannon at a thick section of rock. The familiar lock-on system is now enhanced, showing not just a target, but its molecular density, its weaknesses, its structural integrity. You feel the subtle tremor in your hand, a precise, intuitive understanding of exactly how much force is needed, where to strike. It's an intoxicating sensation of control, a sudden intimacy with the raw forces of the world. Then, a flicker, a brief, almost subliminal distortion in the new data stream. For a fraction of a second, the energy readings of the ancient Chozo structures around you seem to pulse with an intentional, almost intelligent rhythm, a pattern that doesn't quite fit the passive readings. It's gone as quickly as it appeared, but it leaves a faint, unsettling aftertaste, a fleeting thought that perhaps this newfound control is part of a larger, unseen design, This mastering of new senses, this profound connection to the world around you, is a double-edged sword. You are more powerful, more aware, more capable than ever before. But in the quiet hum of your upgraded systems, beneath the exhilarating rush of control, a tiny, persistent whisper suggests that true mastery might not be about what you can see or do, but what you choose to acknowledge lies just beyond your perception, silently pulling the strings. A sudden, piercing shriek rips through the air, raw and guttural, vibrating through the very bones of the cavern around you. It's a sound of pure aggression, born from instinct, a stark contrast to the mechanical hum of Turian or the ancient silence of the Chozo ruins. The air fills with the sharp, coppery tang of fresh blood, quickly mixed with the acrid, metallic burn of ozone from discharged energy. You instinctively roll, your enhanced reflexes kicking in, just as a massive, clawed appendage slams into the rock where you stood moments before, sending shattered fragments scattering. It's a creature of raw, chitinous muscle and predatory fury, its eyes glowing with a malevolent, phosphorescent green in the dim light. Its form is grotesque, a nightmarish blend of insect and reptile, a testament to the planet's brutal evolution. Your arm cannon snaps up, the newly powered systems humming with a readiness that feels almost exhilarating. You don't hesitate. A searing bolt of plasma erupts from the barrel, cutting through the humid air with a violent crackle, impacting the creature's armored hide with a sickening thud. A scream of pain, higher pitched this time, rips from its throat, and a fountain of thick greenish ichor sprays against the damp cavern wall, sizzling as it hits the fungal growths. The creature recoils, but its rage is amplified, its movements a blur of primal speed. It lunges again, jaws snapping, massive claws tearing at the air where your head would be. You dodge, a fluid, almost impossible maneuver, leveraging your suit's augmented agility. The battle is a blur of motion and raw force, plasma blasts meeting chitinous armor, the clang of claw on power suit echoing like a hammer on an anvil. The smell of ichor and ozone thickens, clinging to your visor, a visceral reminder of the fight. You can feel the impact of its frustrated blows against your shielding, a vibrating shockwave that courses through your entire frame, a dull ache beneath the adrenaline. This isn't a calculated confrontation. It's a brutal, instinct-driven struggle for dominance, a dance of predator and prey, except the roles are constantly shifting. Your every move is a precise response, every shot a calculated strike against its monstrous vitality. The hunt is primal, stripped of all subtlety. Here, amidst the shrieks and the ichor and the burning plasma, you realize that true strength isn't just about the power you wield, but the will to face the raw, visceral fury of a world that demands your absolute, unyielding fight for survival. It's a testament to the brutal, beautiful, terrifying reality of life and death, distilled into its most fundamental form. The sharp, metallic tang of ozone and scorched earth hangs heavy in the air, a constant companion to the frantic beat of your own heart. Your internal coolant systems wore overtime, battling the heat generated by your own exertion and the creature's frustrated energy blasts. Every muscle in your armored frame feels taut, coiled, ready to spring, fueled by a potent cocktail of adrenaline and pure survival instinct. You are locked in a deadly ballet, a high-stakes dance with the grotesque, chitinous beast. It circles you, a low, guttural growl rumbling in its throat, its multiple eyes tracking your every subtle shift. The air trembles with anticipation, thick with the unsaid promise of violence. You can almost feel the weight of its gaze, a primal, intelligent malevolence that seeks to exploit any flicker of hesitation. You weave through the cavern, using the massive, root-like structures and glowing fungal clusters as temporary cover. breaking line of sight for mere fractions of a second. Each move is a calculated risk, a feint, a maneuver to gain an opening. Your enhanced sensors paint a dynamic, real-time tactical map within your visor, highlighting its movement patterns, predicting its next lunge, showing the fleeting moments of vulnerability in its armored hide. The speed of information processing is astounding, a seamless flow from perception to action. A sudden, earth-shaking roar erupts from the creature as it lunges, its massive claws extended, scraping against the ancient rock formations, sending sparks flying. You respond instantly, a blur of motion, tucking into a morph ball with a seamless, fluid transition, rolling beneath its sweeping attack with mere inches to spare. The rush of wind as its claws pass over you is visceral, a phantom touch of death. You immediately spring back to your full height, arm cannon already charged, firing a powerful shot directly into its exposed underside. The creature shrieks, a mix of pain and fury, staggering back. Thick, greenish ichor sprays onto the cavern floor, sizzling as it contacts the damp rock. But it's not enough. The beast recovers, its eyes now burning with an intensified, desperate rage, its movements less calculated, more wild. The dance shifts, becomes more chaotic, more desperate. Your shield generator hums with strain, absorbing glancing blows, the internal warnings now a persistent, nagging reminder of your diminishing energy. This constant vigilance, this edge-of-a-knife existence, defines the moment. Every breath, every movement, every spark of plasma is a testament to the stubborn, relentless will to survive. It's a profound realization. In this dance with death, the boundary between hunter and hunted blurs, and the only true constant is the raw, unyielding instinct to keep fighting, to keep moving, to simply endure another breath. A deep, hollow ache begins to gnaw at you. Not a physical injury, but a pervasive, internal tremor. A profound emptiness that radiates from your suit's power core. The air in your helmet, though still breathable, tastes flat, devoid of the vibrant, life-giving tang of fully charged systems. Your suit hums, but it's a strained, almost mournful sound, a mechanical sigh of depletion. Your internal diagnostics are a cascade of amber warnings, then blinking red, indicating critical energy levels. The once exhilarating surge of power has receded, replaced by a sluggish responsiveness. Your arm cannon feels heavy again, its internal whine a mere whisper compared to its earlier confident thrum. Every movement feels like drawing on reserves you no longer truly possess, a conscious act of will against a body and suit screaming for sustenance. You press a gloved hand against your chest plate, feeling the subtle, irregular vibrations of a system struggling to maintain minimal function. The cold, hard reality of depletion sets in. No fresh power, no replenishing energy cells, just the dwindling reserves of a desperate, prolonged struggle. The alien landscape around you, whether it's the damp, fungal breath of Brinstar or the cold, sterile hum of Turian, now feels even more formidable, its challenges amplified by your weakened state. Your vision flickers, a brief, almost imperceptible blackout in your peripheral display, a stark reminder of power cells faltering. You try to jump, to clear a small crevice, and your legs respond sluggishly, the powerful hydraulics barely engaging, leaving you to stumble, catching yourself awkwardly against a rough rock face. The scrape of metal against stone is loud in the sudden sharp silence that follows your failed attempt. The gnawing emptiness intensifies, a phantom hunger that goes beyond physical craving. It's a deep, systemic fatigue, a pervasive weakness that seeps into your very thoughts, making even simple calculations feel like monumental efforts. Your focus narrows, fixed on the immediate, desperate need for energy, for anything that might offer a spark of life to your failing systems. This isn't just low battery, it's a visceral, draining experience. This profound, systemic starvation reveals a fundamental truth. Even the most advanced technology, even the most resilient form, is utterly reliant on that invisible, flowing current of energy. Without it, you are reduced, stripped back to a core vulnerability, a stark reminder of the fragile dependence of existence itself. A metallic, almost bitter taste coats your tongue, a phantom sensation born from the acute awareness of your failing systems. The internal hum of your suit is now a sporadic stutter, a desperate rattling gasp for power. Every flicker of your visor, every strained groan of your hydraulics, underscores the raw, gnawing urgency of your situation. You are running on fumes, and the world feels sharper, more dangerous, more unforgiving than ever. You move with a desperate, almost frantic pace through a labyrinthine cavern, your gaze sweeping every shadow, every crevice, every wall, searching for any flicker of green or blue that might signify an energy pickup or a missile pack. Your heightened senses, once a source of exhilarating control, are now a relentless torrent of environmental data, each reading confirming the agonizing truth: emptiness. The air, thick with mineral dust, and the damp scent of ancient rock, offers no solace, no hint of a solution. Your gauntleted hand instinctively brushes against a thick cluster of glowing, alien fungi. You pause, your internal scanners desperately trying to identify any latent energy within their bioluminescent glow, any hint of a consumable resource. The data comes back negative, a cold, unyielding 0. The disappointment is a sharp, physical pang in your chest, a vivid reminder of the harsh reality of scarcity in this alien wilderness. You kick at a loose rock, the clang echoing hollowly through the cavern, a small, frustrated outburst against the indifferent landscape. Your suit's power bar is a skeletal line of red, almost entirely depleted, a cruel, visual representation of your dwindling vitality. The effort of even walking feels monumental, each step a heavy, deliberate drag against gravity, your body protesting the prolonged exertion without adequate fuel. The memory of the Chozo whispers, of immense, ancient power, feels like a cruel jest in this moment of profound weakness. Ahead, a faint shimmer catches your eye, a distant glint of something metallic embedded in the rock face. Hope, sharp and desperate, surges through you. You push your protesting limbs, forcing them into a clumsy run, the uneven ground jostling you. But as you draw closer, the metallic sheen resolves into a twisted, corroded piece of wreckage, a useless remnant of some long-forgotten machinery, offering nothing but the cold, hard reality of its decay. The disappointment is a heavy weight, a stark blow against your flagging resolve. This desperate scavenge, this relentless, fruitless search for life-giving energy, is a profound lesson in scarcity. In this moment, with systems failing and hope diminishing, you realize that true strength isn't just about fighting, but about facing the brutal indifference of a world that offers no easy answers, no convenient solutions, forcing you to find resilience even in the face of profound, gnawing emptiness. A profound, chilling emptiness washes over you, deeper than any vacuum, a cold, silent embrace that feels vast beyond comprehension. The air within your suit is suddenly the only real thing, a fragile bubble of life support in an infinite, star-dusted void. There's no scent, no taste, just the sterile hum of your environmental controls fighting against an absolute nothingness. You drift, weightless, through the black expanse of space, your damaged power suit a tiny metallic speck against a canvas of countless stars. This isn't the confined, oppressive darkness of Meridia's depths or the shadowy interiors of a wrecked ship. This is cosmic dark, a limitless ocean of cold and silence that stretches forever, indifferent to your presence. The familiar contours of Zebes, your home, are gone, replaced by the dizzying, bewildering sweep of distant nebulae and alien galaxies, utterly unreachable. Your internal displays are useless now, a chaotic mess of static and unreadable telemetry. There's no ground, no ceiling, no direction, just a dizzying disorientation that threatens to pull your very sense of self apart. You spin slowly, uncontrollably, your efforts to regain stability futile against the vast inertia. The stars, once distant points of light, now seem to stretch and smear with your uncontrolled rotation, a psychedelic tunnel of impossibility. A faint, high-pitched whine cuts through the silence, a dying gasp from a ruptured thruster, a pathetic echo in the vastness. You reach out, blindly, instinctively, but there's nothing to grab, nothing to anchor you. The silence that follows is even more absolute, a vacuum that swallows all sound, all hope of external rescue. You are utterly alone, a single consciousness adrift in the horrifying, beautiful indifference of the cosmos. You watch as a distant, massive gas giant, swirled with bands of orange and blue, slowly rotates in your view, a silent, majestic titan. It's beautiful, utterly captivating, yet its sheer scale only emphasizes your own insignificance, your infinitesimal existence. You are less than a grain of sand on an endless beach, a forgotten particle in the cosmic dance. This cosmic isolation isn't just a physical separation, it's a profound spiritual detachment. Here, adrift in the cold, silent void, you realize the true, humbling scale of existence, the vastness of the universe, and the terrifying, beautiful truth that in its infinite grandeur, you are utterly, perfectly alone. A testament to fragile life clinging stubbornly to existence against the ultimate, overwhelming nothingness. The silence presses in on you, not just the absence of sound, but a profound, almost tangible weight that seems to amplify every internal whisper. Your own breathing, regulated by the suit's life support, becomes a loud, rhythmic whoosh in your ears, an intimate, almost intrusive presence in the vast, cold emptiness of space. The recycled air tastes flat, sterile, a stark reminder of your isolation. You drift, a passive observer in your own slowly tumbling capsule of existence. Outside, the endless tapestry of stars offers no comfort, only a dizzying perspective of insignificance. Your internal displays are dead, the vibrant greens and reds replaced by a uniform, gray static that mirrors the growing fuzziness at the edges of your own thoughts. There's nothing to focus on, nothing to engage with, save for the echoes of your own mind. A memory flickers across your internal vision, unbidden, the brief, sharp tang of ozone on Criteria, the feeling of solid, unforgiving rock beneath your boots. Then it shifts, a fleeting image of the humid, fungal-scented air of Brinstar, the soft, yielding earth. Each memory, a vibrant sensory recall, struggles to hold its form, dissolving quickly into the gray static, leaving behind a faint, lingering ache of what was, what is no longer. You try to focus, to ground yourself, to trace the familiar contours of your suit's internal systems, to check phantom power levels. But the effort feels monumental, the pathways of your thoughts blurring. The silence becomes a canvas for auditory hallucinations, faint, distorted whispers from the past, the distant clang of a heavy door, the roar of magma, the shriek of an alien beast. They are fleeting, fragmented, like radio signals from a distant, dying broadcast, playing tricks on a mind desperate for external input. Your hands, gloved and heavy, float before you. You clench them, then relax, feeling the subtle resistance of the suit's internal mechanisms. It's a small, deliberate act to assert your presence, to prove you still exist, still have agency. But even that act feels hollow, lacking purpose in this infinite drift. The fight here isn't against an external foe or a hostile environment. It's an internal battle against the insidious creep of profound, absolute solitude, against a mind desperately seeking an anchor in an anchorless void. This cosmic solitude, this relentless onslaught of emptiness, truly challenges the core of your being. Here, in the quiet, echoing chamber of your own mind, you realize that survival isn't just about physical endurance, but about the fragile, persistent will to hold on to your own sanity, to find meaning even when faced with the crushing, indifferent silence of an infinite universe that seems intent on dissolving your very essence. A sharp, acrid smell, like bitter vinegar mixed with burning metal, assaults your senses. It's a corrosive tang that seems to burn the inside of your helmet, even through the suit's advanced filtration. The air, thick and oppressive, is punctuated by the furious hiss of dissolving rock and the wet, squelching sound of organic matter breaking down. This isn't just a hostile environment. It's actively trying to consume you. You stand on a crumbling ledge, the ground beneath your boots groaning and shifting with unsettling regularity. Below, a churning, vibrant green lake of acidic liquid stretches into the gloomy distance, emitting swirling plumes of noxious vapor that sting your visor. Your suit's external integrity warnings flash red, a frantic cascade of alerts indicating rapid degradation. You can feel the minuscule vibrations, the subtle weakening of your armor, as the ambient corrosive elements work relentlessly against it. A sudden, violent tremor shakes the cavern. From a fissure in the wall above, a gout of glowing green acid bursts forth, showering the ledge where you stand. You instinctively leap back, your enhanced reflexes barely saving you from a direct hit. But where the acid strikes the rock, it sizzles, smokes, and then, with a wet crunch, the stone simply gives way, crumbling into the churning lake below with a series of sickening splashes. You watch, horrified, as a section of your path vanishes into the corrosive depths. Sparks erupt from a nearby exposed power conduit, a shower of angry, blue-white light against the gloomy backdrop. The wire, frayed and corroded by the pervasive acid, finally snaps, whipping wildly for a second before plunging into the lake. A violent electrical crackle follows, and a section of the acidic surface momentarily boils and steams before returning to its menacing emerald green. It's a cascade of environmental failures, each element of the world conspiring against your very existence. You press a gloved hand against your chest, feeling the subtle vibration of your internal systems battling the relentless assault. Your breath hitches, a sharp, ragged intake, as you realize the terrifying truth. This environment isn't just dangerous. It's a slow, deliberate killer, patiently wearing you down, piece by agonizing piece. This environmental betrayal, this constant, multifaceted assault, is a profound and terrifying experience. Here, amidst the acid, the sparks, and the crumbling earth, you learn that even without a sentient enemy, the world itself can be the most relentless, unforgiving, and ultimately absolute foe, its very nature a slow, relentless march towards your total dissolution. A guttural roar of frustration escapes you, a primal sound that feels torn from your very core, raw and unmodulated by the suit's filters. The acrid smell of acid and ozone burns in your nostrils, mixed with the sharp metallic tang of your own overexertion. Your suit's internal warnings scream in your ears, a continuous, insistent drone that mirrors the frantic beat of your heart. You sprint, a desperate, clumsy dash across a narrow, crumbling bridge of rock, the acidic lake churning violently below. Behind you, a geyser of superheated steam erupts, blasting the section of the bridge you just vacated, sending fragments of rock showering into the corrosive depths. You hear the sickening sizzle as they dissolve, a grim reminder of how close you came. Your every muscle aches, protesting the relentless demand for speed, for precision, for continued survival. Ahead, a sudden, swift shadow falls over you. You glance up just as a massive, alien creature, its hide glistening with corrosive slime, lunges from a hidden alcove in the ceiling. It's too fast, too sudden. You brace yourself. A futile, split-second preparation for impact. But just as its claws are about to tear into your shoulder, your enhanced agility kicks in, an almost involuntary twist of your body, and you manage to duck the beast's attack, tearing a searing groove into the air inches above your helmet. The force of its missed strike creates a powerful updraft, sending you stumbling forward, off balance, towards the edge of the dissolving bridge. You flail, your hands scraping against the rough, crumbling rock of the bridge, your boots losing purchase. For a terrifying moment, you are airborne, suspended over the churning, emerald depths, the acrid vapors rising to meet you. Your internal diagnostics flash with a critical fall warning, the world tilting into a nauseating blur of green acid and crumbling stone. Pure, raw panic, cold and sharp, tries to seize you. But then, an instinct takes over, a desperate explosive kick of your legs, and you slam a gauntleted hand against the nearest solid point on the bridge's edge, your fingers desperately gripping the dissolving rock. You hang there, panting, the strained whir of your grappling systems echoing in the sudden silence, your body dangling over oblivion. Your knuckles ache, your suit groans under the strain, and a small chunk of the bridge's edge gives way, crumbling into the acid below, narrowly missing your dangling foot. The frustration is immense, but beneath it, a renewed, almost furious determination takes root. This gauntlet of peril, this relentless succession of near-death escapes, carves a deeper resolve into your very being. Here, amidst the constant threats and the relentless environmental assault, you learn that frustration can be a potent fuel, and that the line between failure and survival is often measured in fractions of a second, an inch of grit, and the sheer, unyielding refusal to give up. A dull, persistent ache begins to throb behind your eyes, a fatigue born not of physical exertion, but of relentless mental strain. The air within your suit feels thin, carrying the faint, sterile scent of processed oxygen, a stark counterpoint to the vibrant, confusing stimuli of your surroundings. A subtle, rhythmic drip sounds somewhere ahead, an echo that twists and turns, making its origin impossible to pinpoint, further disorienting your internal compass. You stand within a network of tunnels and passages, carved with a frustrating, almost deliberate uniformity. Walls of rough, unadorned stone stretch endlessly, sometimes curving, sometimes sharply angled, but always seeming to lead back to a place you just left. Every junction appears identical, every fork in the path a cruel mockery of progress. The pervasive gloom, broken only by the dim, pulsing glow of bioluminescent moss or the occasional flicker of a failing light fixture, makes it nearly impossible to hold a mental map, to distinguish one endless corridor from the next. Your mind races, trying to impose order on this chaos. You force yourself to notice the subtle differences. A peculiar scratch mark on a wall, a single fallen rock at a specific intersection, the unique contour of a crack in the ceiling above a particular path. These tiny anomalies become precious mental breadcrumbs, painstakingly collected and organized in an attempt to construct a coherent mental blueprint of this maddening labyrinth. Your suit's internal cartographer struggles, the auto-mapping feature churning through data, but even its advanced algorithms produce a web of overlapping lines, a tangled mess that offers little clarity. You press a gloved hand against your temple, feeling the cool, hard surface of your helmet. The frustration is a tight knot in your stomach, a burning impatience against the unyielding, repetitive nature of the environment. You move slower now, each step deliberate, each scan of the surroundings meticulous, a desperate effort to embed every detail into your memory. You double back, retrace paths, sometimes 3 or 4 times, only to find yourself facing the same, familiar, yet utterly alien, branching options. The low, distant growl of an unseen creature, usually a cause for alarm, now registers as little more than another data point in your desperate attempt to plot a course. A faint, metallic taste coats your tongue, a product of pure concentration, of pushing your cognitive limits. The feeling of being perpetually lost, yet relentlessly driven to find a way forward, is a peculiar form of torture. This isn't just about physical survival. It's a battle of intellect, a struggle to not let the environment consume your very sense of direction, your ability to reason. This mental labyrinth, this constant struggle to chart the unknown, reveals a deep truth about perception. Here, where the physical world deliberately deceives, your greatest tools are not your weapons or your armor, but the stubborn, persistent power of your own mind, the unyielding drive to understand, to organize, and ultimately, to define your own path within the maddening, endless chaos. A subtle click, crisp and clear, sounds in your internal comms, distinct from the rhythmic drip of water or the distant scuttling of unseen creatures. It's the sound of data locking, of information aligning, a sudden, precise shift that brings a wave of clarity, like a fog lifting from your mind. The air in your helmet, once flat, now feels fresh, invigorating, reflecting a newfound mental sharpness. You stand at a familiar crossroads, one of countless identical junctions that once blurred into an indistinguishable maze. But now, it's different. Your visor's internal display, previously a chaotic jumble of overlapping lines, has suddenly snapped into focus. A clear, three-dimensional blueprint of the surrounding passages appears, not just a map, but a tactile, almost intuitive understanding of the interconnected routes, the hidden shortcuts, the subtle shifts in elevation. You see the labyrinth not as a series of dead ends, but as a solvable puzzle, its complexities revealing a deliberate, almost elegant design. You reach out, your gauntleted finger brushing against a section of the rough, unadorned stone wall. The small scratch mark you painstakingly noted hours ago, a tiny anomaly that once felt insignificant, now glows faintly on your internal map, a beacon of recognition. Your memory, no longer a jumbled collection of disparate images, has coalesced, cross-referencing every detail, every unique imperfection, every subtle shift in air current, to form a coherent, interconnected understanding of the environment. The pervasive gloom still exists, but now it feels less like an obstacle and more like a challenge to be overcome. You turn, confidently, towards a path you dismissed as a dead end before. Your new map shows a hidden passage, a barely perceptible fissure that your heightened senses now identify as a viable route, marked by a slight pressure differential and a unique mineral deposit signature. It's not a guess, it's a certainty, born from the synthesis of countless observations and the power of your upgraded systems working in perfect concert with your own sharpened intellect. The low, distant growl of a creature, once disorienting, is now accurately placed on your map, its movement patterns tracked, its proximity calculated. This isn't just a map, it's an extension of your mind, a complete and total assimilation of the environment into your consciousness. The frustration has evaporated, replaced by a quiet, exhilarating sense of mastery. Each step you take now is deliberate, purposeful. No longer a blind exploration, but a guided journey through a world that, moments ago, seemed designed to perpetually confuse. This shift from confusion to clarity, this mastery of mapping, is a profound testament to the human, or perhaps the Metroid, capacity for adaptation and understanding. Here, within the once bewildering heart of the labyrinth, you realize that true power isn't just about raw strength, but about the relentless pursuit of knowledge, the unyielding drive to comprehend, and the ultimate, satisfying triumph of bringing order to chaos. A profound sense of warmth, deep and penetrating, blossoms from your core, spreading outwards to encompass your entire body. It's not just a rise in temperature, it's a feeling of complete, absolute security, a seamless embrace against the hostile chill of the alien environment. The air within your suit now feels perfectly calibrated, a gentle, nurturing current that whispers of invincibility. You stand within an ancient Chozo chamber, a sacred space now serving as a crucible for transformation. Around you, the ethereal glow of the architecture pulses, mirroring the powerful energy now flowing through your armor. The exterior plating of your power suit shifts, a subtle, almost imperceptible morphing of its molecular structure. You feel a tingling sensation across your armored skin, as if a second, more resilient layer is knitting itself into existence, merging with your original shell. Your internal displays, once flashing with environmental warnings, now glow a steady, reassuring green. The corrosive tang in the air, the freezing wind, the searing heat of Norfair's lava, all the punishing elements that once threatened to tear your armor apart, now feel like distant, muted sensations, mere whispers against your newly reinforced shell. You extend your arm, and your gauntlet feels lighter, yet profoundly more substantial, its surface subtly changing, hardening, becoming one with the world around it. You walk towards a nearby wall, previously radiating a chilling cold. You press your hand against it, and where before you would have felt the icy grip, now there is only a faint coolness, easily shrugged off by the suit's new resilience. It's a liberation, a sudden freedom from the constant gnawing threat of environmental damage. The thought of the acidic lakes, the molten seas, the crushing pressures, all now seem less daunting, their destructive power blunted by this incredible augmentation. A low, distant tremor from deep within the planet registers on your suit's augmented sensors, but where it once would have sent a jolt of concern, now it feels like a distant drumbeat, a reminder of the world's power, but not its immediate threat to you. Your confidence swells, a powerful, quiet certainty that this evolution is more than just an upgrade. It's a redefinition of your very place in this hostile world. This suit, this second skin, is not just protection. It's a symbiotic evolution, a testament to enduring strength and technological mastery. Here, in this cocoon of enhanced resilience, you realize that true power is not just about overcoming external threats, but about transforming yourself to meet them, about becoming an unyielding force against the indifferent, punishing will of the universe. A subtle hum, deep within the very plating of your suit, no longer feels external, but resonates within your own bones, a constant, comforting vibration that has become your new internal rhythm. The air within your helmet, perfectly regulated, feels like the natural atmosphere of your own extended being, a vital breath flowing through every circuit and nerve. Your armored shell isn't just worn, it's asterisk felt, a second skin of steel and advanced alloys. You lift a gauntleted hand, flexing your fingers. The movement isn't a mechanical action initiated by a separate system. It's an extension of your thought, fluid and instantaneous. You feel the subtle, complex workings of the suit's hydraulics and power conduits, not as separate components, but as integrated muscle and sinew, responding to your every conscious and subconscious command. The once heavy, cumbersome plating now feels weightless, an amplification of your own physical presence. You move, a seamless flow of motion. A step becomes a glide, a jump an effortless leap, carrying you across a chasm with a grace that defies the suit's mass. There's no lag, no struggle against inert material. Your intentions are translated into action, with perfect, synchronized precision. You land softly, the impact absorbed not by external dampeners, but by a perceived extension of your own skeletal structure. The planet's varied surfaces, the rough rock, the yielding earth, the cold steel, all feel intimately familiar through your integrated boots. Your augmented senses, once a flood of raw data, now process the environment with an intuitive clarity, a synthesis of organic and technological perception. The faint energy signatures of hidden creatures, the subtle shifts in atmospheric pressure, the distant rumbling of magma, all register directly into your consciousness, not as technical readouts, but as direct sensory input, as if your own skin could feel the pulse of the planet, your own ears hear the silent language of energy. The suit doesn't just display information, it becomes the information, interwoven with your own instincts. You press your palm against a cool, ancient Chozo wall. You don't just feel the smooth stone through the gauntlet, you feel the faint residual energy within it, a ghost of its original purpose, whispering through the very fibers of your enhanced hand. This intimate connection, this blurring of flesh and circuitry, creates a profound sense of belonging, a quiet confidence that even in the most hostile environments, you are fundamentally capable, intrinsically connected. This symbiosis with steel, this intimate bond of survival, transforms you. This suit isn't just a tool, it's a living, breathing extension of yourself, a testament to the merging of biology and technology. Here, in this seamless integration, you realize that true strength isn't just found in individual might, but in the powerful, unbreakable connection forged between intent and instrument, becoming an undeniable force against the vast, indifferent universe. The air around you chills, a cold, pervasive stillness that carries the faint, acrid scent of dry dust and distant, decaying metals. It's a distinct absence of the planet's vibrant life, a sudden, unsettling quiet that replaces the usual hum and thrum of the living world. A profound, creeping darkness begins to swallow the familiar landscape, blurring contours, twisting shadows into grotesque, fleeting forms. You stand on a desolate, wind-scoured plateau, the remnants of an ancient Chozo outpost crumbling into the crimson dust. The alien sun, a bloated orange orb, dips below the jagged horizon, painting the sky in a final, violent smear of deep violet and blood red. As the last light fades, the temperature plummets, and the wind, once a constant companion, dies down to an eerie, almost conspiratorial whisper, rustling through unseen debris, carrying only the ghost of sound. Your visor's low-light amplification kicks in, desperately trying to pierce the growing gloom. But the darkness here is active, consuming, blurring the lines between solid rock and empty space. Every distant rock formation transforms into a hulking, silent sentinel. Every shadow seems to deepen and stretch with an unnerving, almost predatory patience. Your enhanced senses, usually a source of clarity, now pick up a multitude of indistinct echoes, faint, shuffling sounds just beyond your visual range, the almost imperceptible tremor of something heavy moving far below the surface. A low, guttural murmur that seems to travel on the wind itself. You turn slowly, scanning the now featureless horizon, your hand instinctively going to your arm cannon. The silence itself feels like a presence, a watchful, patient entity waiting for your mistake. A tiny, almost imperceptible spark of blue light flickers in the extreme distance, then vanishes, leaving behind only an intensified feeling of being observed, of being an unwelcome beacon in a night designed for concealment. The cold seeps into your armor, not intensely, but gradually, a pervasive chill that settles deep into your bones. It's a reminder of vulnerability, of the vast, unforgiving nature of a world that once burned bright and now retreats into a shroud of darkness. The transition feels less like a natural cycle and more like a deliberate act, a deliberate hiding of its true, nocturnal horrors. This galactic nightfall, this descent into shadows and whispers, is a profound and unsettling experience. Here, in the oppressive gloom, you realize that true danger often lies not in what you can see or confront, but in the unseen, the unheard, the vast, patient malice that awakens when the light dies, transforming a known world into a labyrinth of endless, unseen threats. A deep, pervasive chill seeps into your very bones, not just from the plummeting temperature of the alien night, but from the constant, gnawing edge of exhaustion. The sterile air inside your helmet feels heavy, thick with the phantom sense of adrenaline and dust. Your eyelids feel weighted, a desperate yearning for the oblivion of sleep, battling against a primal, insistent fear that clamps down on your chest. You slump against a massive, ancient rock formation, its cold, rough surface a meager shield against the overwhelming blackness. Your visor's low-light filters are pushed to their maximum, painting the world in shades of green and gray, but the darkness itself feels like a living, breathing entity, pressing in from all sides. Every rustle of unseen grit in the wind, every faint, distant scuttling sound is magnified, transformed into a potential threat, a silent scream of vulnerability in the vast, consuming night. Your arm cannon, usually an extension of your will, feels heavy, sluggish, a burden rather than a protector. You try to close your eyes, to find even a fleeting moment of mental respite, but a sudden flash of iridescent red, a fleeting movement in the periphery of your vision, snaps them open again. It's gone as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind only the racing beat of your heart, a frantic drum in the suffocating silence. Your internal alarms, usually precise, now feel jumpy, overly sensitive, reacting to phantom movements, to the shadows cast by your own weary mind. You draw a slow, internal breath, trying to calm the frantic energy coursing through you. The sheer mental fatigue is almost worse than any physical pain, a persistent, insidious erosion of your focus, your judgment. Every shadow seems to deepen, every distant sound seems to grow closer, more menacing, playing tricks on a mind desperate for rest. The gnawing fear isn't just of what might be out there, it's the fear of what your own exhaustion might make you miss, the critical second of delayed reaction that could spell doom. A low, sustained tremor vibrates through the ground beneath you, a deep, resonant hum that feels like a colossal creature stirring in its sleep. You push yourself away from the rock, your weary muscles protesting, your arm cannon rising on instinct, but nothing appears. The tremor subsides, leaving only the intensified sense of your profound isolation, of being utterly alone against a world that has retreated into its predatory, nocturnal guise. This battle for rest, this relentless fight against primal fear and the alien darkness, is a profound testament to the relentless demands of survival. Here, with exhaustion clawing at your mind and unseen threats lurking in every shadow, you realize that courage isn't just about facing an enemy head-on, but about the sheer, unyielding will to simply close your eyes, to find a moment of peace, even when every fiber of your being screams for constant, unwavering vigilance. A wave of cool, clean air, subtly scented with ozone and something fresh, almost floral, washes over you. It's a profound, immediate relief after the acrid tang of the outside world, a breath that feels like a soothing balm to your exhausted lungs. The incessant internal drone of your suit's damaged systems quiets to a gentle, steady hum, and the frantic beat of your heart slowly, mercifully, begins to subside. You step across a hidden threshold, leaving behind the oppressive darkness and the gnawing fear. Before you, a small, perfectly preserved chamber glows with a soft, steady, cerulean light, emanating from intricate power conduits embedded seamlessly into the smooth, dark Chozo architecture. There are no jagged edges, no crumbling rock, no signs of decay or violence, only an pristine, almost ethereal calm. The silence here is a benevolent presence, a profound stillness that invites rest. Your internal diagnostics, previously a cascade of red warnings, now flicker green, slowly recalibrating. The persistent ache in your muscles, the subtle vibration of damaged plating, all begin to recede. replaced by a deep, systemic sense of restoration. You walk towards the center of the chamber, your heavy boots feeling surprisingly light on the perfectly smooth, cool floor. Each step feels less like an effort and more like a surrender to the overwhelming sense of peace. In the center of the chamber, a small, circular energy field pulses gently, a soft, inviting blue. It's a Chozo refill station, ancient technology, still working in perfect harmony, radiating pure, clean energy. You step into it, and a warmth, deep and penetrating, flows through your entire suit, a rush of power that feels like nectar to your starved systems. The internal hum deepens, stabilizes, becoming a powerful, confident thrum. Your energy levels surge, shields regenerate, and every system clicks back into optimal function. The sensation is exhilarating, a full, undeniable resurgence of vitality. You lean back against the cool, smooth wall, allowing the energy field to work its magic. Your visor's display glows with complete green bars, a visual testament to your renewed strength. The fear, the exhaustion, the raw desperation of the past hours all begin to melt away, replaced by a quiet, profound sense of gratitude. This sanctuary's embrace, this sweet relief of brief respite, isn't just about restoring power. It's about reclaiming yourself. Here, in this haven of ancient design and pure energy, you realize that true strength isn't just about enduring endless hardship, but about finding and cherishing those precious moments of peace and restoration that allow the spirit to mend, to gather itself, and to face the continuing fight anew. A deep, calming warmth spreads through your suit, a sense of well-being that momentarily eclipses the memory of cold void and scorching lava. The air within your helmet, now perfectly filtered and gently circulated, carries a faint, comforting scent of ozone and the subtle, clean aroma of ancient stone. It's a sensory balm, a whisper of peace that momentarily feels like a distant memory of safety, of home. You sit, or rather recline, against the smooth, cool wall of the Chozo sanctuary, the soft, cerulean light bathing the chamber in an ethereal glow. Outside this bubble, the chaos of Zebes still rages, the acid lakes, the molten rivers, the constant threat of unseen beasts. But here, within these ancient walls, time seems to slow, reality softens, and for a fleeting moment you exist in a quiet, isolated pocket of tranquility, a perfect illusion of refuge. Internal diagnostics display a serene field of green, every system humming with optimal power, every shield fully charged. Your body, revitalized and rested, feels light, strong, capable. You close your eyes, and the vibrant images of the planet's brutal beauty flicker through your mind, no longer threatening, but merely observed. The violent crimson of Criteria's sky, the bioluminescent dance of Meridia's depths, the stark geometry of Turian. Each memory is a testament to survival, a fragment of the incredible journey you've undertaken. A faint, almost musical chime echoes through the chamber, a soft resonant tone from the energy station that just replenished your strength. It's a sound that evokes something ancient, something deeply caring, a protective gesture from a long-lost civilization. For a moment, you let yourself imagine a life here, a quiet existence within these walls, free from the constant struggle, the endless hunt. The thought is potent, alluring, a vivid mirage of normalcy. You open your eyes, and the sanctuary remains, pristine and calm, but the faint, distant tremor of the planet, a low, persistent thrum, breaks through the illusion, a subtle reminder of the world outside. The sense of peace, though real, is inherently temporary, a stolen moment in a universe that demands constant vigilance. This fleeting illusion of home, this reflection amidst the chaos, is a profound and poignant experience. Here, in the quiet heart of this ancient refuge, you realize that even in the most intense struggles, the human, or Metroid, spirit yearns for solace, for a moment of peace, a feeling of belonging. And though the chaos will inevitably call you back, these moments of profound calm are not just respite. They are the fuel, the renewed spirit that allows you to face the unyielding, relentless battle for existence with a replenished heart. The rhythmic, heavy thud of your own footsteps against the unforgiving ground is the only constant sound, a deep, resonant beat that echoes the persistent rhythm of your heart. The air, ever-changing with each new biome, now carries a faint, sterile scent of damp rock mixed with the metallic tang of ozone, hinting at distant, unseen machinery. It's a smell of perpetual transition, of moving relentlessly forward. You traverse a seemingly endless passage, its rough-hewn stone walls stretching into the gloom, lit intermittently by sporadic bursts of bioluminescent moss or the cold blue flicker of alien technology. Each step is deliberate, purposeful, a conscious act of will propelling you deeper into the planet's unknown depths. The profound rest of the sanctuary is now a fading memory, replaced by a renewed, almost compulsive drive to discover what lies beyond the next turn, the next cavern. Your gaze sweeps constantly across the surroundings, your enhanced senses processing every detail, the faint tremor of distant geological activity, the subtle shift in air currents indicating an unseen opening, the minute energy signatures of dormant alien fauna embedded within the rock. This isn't frantic searching, it's a calm, comprehensive sweep, an ingrained habit born from endless hours of traversing hostile worlds. Your internal map, once a chaotic jumble, is now a living, constantly updating blueprint, a testament to your hard-won mastery of this labyrinthine planet. Ahead, a narrow chasm opens, its depths shrouded in a thick, swirling mist. It's too wide to jump, too deep to drop. But where before this would have been a daunting obstacle, now your eyes immediately track the faint, glowing energy conduits embedded in the far wall, noting their structural integrity, assessing their potential as a grappling point. Your arm cannon feels light, responsive, its grappling beam systems ready, a reliable extension of your determined will. The weight of your suit, once a burden, now feels like a part of you, a natural extension of your form, moving with an effortless grace that belies its mass. You feel the cool, rough stone against your armored hand as you brace yourself for a difficult jump, the subtle vibrations of the planet, a constant, reassuring reminder of your connection to this alien world. There's a quiet focus, an almost meditative state that settles over you, a profound sense of purpose in the relentless forward momentum. This relentless march, these footsteps towards an unknown end, isn't just a physical journey, it's a testament to unyielding will. Here, amidst the alien beauty and constant threats, you realize that true strength is not just about overcoming obstacles, but about the profound, unwavering courage to continuously move forward, to face the unknown with every step, driven by an inherent, undeniable need to simply continue, to discover, to endure. The constant, low hum of your fully restored suit is a meditative presence, a steady vibration that has become indistinguishable from your own heartbeat. The air, perfectly cycled and clean, fuels a deep, unwavering clarity in your mind, a singular focus that cuts through the planet's noise. There's no fear, no hesitation, just a profound, almost spiritual conviction in the necessity of your forward momentum. You navigate the intricate, ever-changing corridors of Zebes with an instinct born of countless trials and hard-won victories. The cold, unyielding precision of Turian's fortress, the searing heat of Norfair's lava flows, the crushing depths of Meridia. They are no longer obstacles to be feared, but known variables in an equation you are solving with every step. Your movements are fluid, efficient, a seamless dance between your will and the suit's augmented capabilities. Your gaze, sweeping across the bioluminescent fungal growths of Brinstar, no longer seeks dangers but pathways, opportunities. Every flicker of movement, every subtle shift in atmospheric pressure, every distant echo registers not as a threat but as information, instantly processed and integrated into your comprehensive mental map. You anticipate, you predict, you adapt. The lessons learned from every environmental betrayal, every desperate scavenge, every visceral hunt, are now woven into the very fabric of your being. Ahead, a wall of ancient, impenetrable Chozo alloy blocks your path, a formidable barrier. But where once this would have presented an insurmountable challenge, now you feel a flicker of understanding, an intuitive grasp of its weakness. Your arm cannon hums, its power cells charged, ready, a silent partner in your unwavering purpose. You don't see an obstacle, you see a next step, an inevitable progression. The knowledge gleaned from the Chozo glyphs, the wisdom of a lost civilization, echoes deep within your consciousness, a silent guide. The feeling of the cool, smooth stone beneath your gauntleted hand as you briefly brace against a wall before a jump is a comforting anchor. It's a constant, tactile connection to the physical world, a reminder that despite the immense technological augmentation, you are still a living, breathing entity, deeply intertwined with this harsh, beautiful planet. Your purpose isn't external. It's an internal imperative, a relentless, singular drive. This unwavering drive, this philosophy of forward momentum, isn't just a strategy for survival. It's the very essence of your existence here. Here, amidst the planet's relentless chaos, you realize that true progress, true meaning, lies not in reaching a final destination, but in the profound, persistent act of moving, of learning, of evolving, of simply existing as an unyielding force against the ceaseless, indifferent current of time. A profound, almost reverent silence descends once more, softer and deeper than any you've encountered. A stillness that seems to hum with ancient knowledge. The air here, pure and cool, carries a faint, earthy scent, mingled with the subtle, clean aroma of old stone and dormant power. It's a distinct feeling of being in a place of deep historical significance, a sanctuary long forgotten by the rest of the universe. You stand within a vast circular chamber, its walls and ceiling crafted from a seamless, obsidian-like material that glows with a soft inner luminescence. Intricate carvings cover every available surface, swirling patterns and symbols that pulse faintly with a hidden energy. These aren't the crude etchings of a nascent civilization. They are the elegant, complex script of a highly advanced, deeply spiritual people. Your gaze traces the lines, feeling a resonance, a deep, intuitive understanding that transcends mere language. You reach out, your gauntleted hand pressing against a section of the wall where the carvings are particularly dense. The material is cool, unnaturally smooth, and beneath your touch you feel a subtle vibration, a faint, rhythmic pulse that seems to synchronize with your own heartbeat. It's as if the very stone is alive, imbued with the lingering essence of its creators, a silent whisper of their presence spanning millennia. Your internal displays are calm, the environment registering as completely benign, yet your enhanced senses perceive a rich tapestry of dormant energy fields and residual psionic imprints. You see the faint, ethereal outlines of figures moving within the carvings, fleeting images of robed, avian beings engaged in silent rituals, their eyes fixed on celestial maps, their hands shaping the very stars. It's a ghost vision, a direct communion with the lingering aura of the Chozo, a profound connection to their lost history. A faint, almost musical tone emanates from the center of the chamber. A soft, resonant frequency that vibrates through your bones. It draws you forward, a silent, powerful invitation. As you step closer, the light within the carvings intensifies, revealing new layers of detail, deeper meanings in the complex iconography, tales of cosmic migrations, of profound scientific discovery, of a solemn, self-imposed exile. This isn't just an archaeological site, it's a living museum of consciousness, a profound echo across time. Here, amidst the intricate carvings and the lingering aura of the Chozo, you realize that true power lies not only in technological might or physical prowess, but in the enduring legacy of knowledge, the silent, profound wisdom that can transcend generations, waiting patiently to guide those who are willing to listen, to truly see, to deeply feel the echoes of a glorious, vanished past. A profound sense of wonder, tinged with an unexpected wave of sorrow, washes over you, a poignant contrast to the ancient power resonating in the air. The pure, cool atmosphere of the Chozo chamber feels heavy, laden with the weight of ages, the silent testament to a grandeur that is now but a ghost. You feel the subtle, persistent hum of dormant technology beneath your boots, a living echo of ingenuity. You stand before a magnificent, crystalline apparatus at the very heart of the chamber, pulsing with a soft, inner light that cycles through hues of blue and gold. It's clearly a device of immense power, an embodiment of Chozo mastery over energy and matter, humming with a quiet readiness. Your enhanced senses register its incredible complexity, its intricate dance of exotic particles, its almost boundless potential. A sense of awe, deep and genuine, swells within you, a recognition of true genius. As you reach out a gloved hand, touching the smooth, cool surface of the crystalline conduit, a surge of raw energy flows into your suit, a familiar, exhilarating jolt of power. Your internal energy reserves immediately stabilize, reinforcing shields, recharging weapon systems, bringing every function to peak performance. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a full, comprehensive restoration, a gift of immense power from a bygone era. But with the power comes a deeper connection, a more profound understanding of the intricate glyphs around you. You perceive the finality of the Chozo's departure, their deliberate choice to leave this planet, this galaxy, to its own fate, abandoning their incredible creations to the ravages of time and the ambitions of others. The silent carvings now tell tales of sacrifice, of a species choosing wisdom over vengeance, a path of peace over a futile, destructive struggle. A wave of profound sadness washes over you, a quiet melancholy for a civilization so advanced, so benevolent, yet ultimately unable to prevent the rise of the very chaos they fled. You feel the burden of their legacy, this inherited power, knowing that it was left for a purpose, a final hope against the encroaching darkness. The pristine condition of this chamber, the silent readiness of its technology, speaks of a last, desperate act of foresight, a final gamble on an unknown future. This legacy of power, this moment of wonder and sadness in a desolate future, transforms your understanding of your own mission. Here, amidst the echoes of a lost empire and the tangible proof of their genius, you realize that true heroism isn't just about wielding power, but about understanding its cost, honoring its source, and carrying the torch of hope into a future where the wisdom of the past might still, against all odds, find a way to flourish amidst the chaos. A bone-chilling shriek rips through the oppressive silence, a sound so raw and utterly terrifying it momentarily freezes your blood in your veins. It's not the roar of an alien beast, nor the metallic clang of a machine, but a high-pitched, desperate cry of pure, unadulterated terror echoing through the cold, sterile air. A faint, almost sickly sweet scent, like ozone, mixed with something biological and profoundly alien, fills your helmet. You stand within a vast metallic chamber, its walls adorned with the cold, precise architecture of Turian. The usual hum of the fortress is replaced by an unnerving silence, broken only by the lingering reverberations of that horrific scream. Your enhanced senses immediately pinpoint its origin: a containment unit, a massive, reinforced transparent cylinder glowing with an intermittent, sickly green light, situated in the center of the chamber. As you approach, your footsteps feeling unnaturally heavy, a flicker of movement within the containment unit catches your eye. There, suspended in a viscous, nutrient-rich fluid, is a creature of pure nightmare, a Metroid. But this isn't the familiar nascent form. This one is colossal, its translucent, bell-shaped body pulsing with a frantic, internal light, its 4 large brain segments writhing. Its fangs, usually held in repose, are bared, scraping against the reinforced glass of its prison, a silent, desperate effort to escape. Another scream, louder this time, a full-throated wail of pure anguish and fear, tears from the Metroid. It's a sound that should belong to a helpless victim, not a legendary predator. You press a gloved hand against the cold, reinforced glass of the containment unit, feeling the intense vibrations, the frantic struggle of the creature within. Its multifaceted eyes, usually black and devoid of expression, are wide with a primal, desperate terror, fixed on something unseen, something beyond your current perception. Your suit's internal sensors register a massive, fluctuating energy signature emanating from the Metroid, a chaotic storm of life force under immense duress. It's not attacking you, it's recoiling, desperately trying to escape a perceived threat that has driven it to such a state of abject fear. The very air around the containment unit feels thick with its terror, a palpable pressure that invades your consciousness. This Metroid's cry, this bone-chilling scream of terror, is a profound and unsettling experience. Here, in the sterile heart of Turian, you realize that even the most feared and formidable creatures can be reduced to pure, visceral fear. It's a stark, humbling reminder that terror knows no bounds, no species, and that sometimes the most powerful scream is not one of aggression, but of profound, existential dread. A cold, sickening dread grips your gut, a primal wave of empathy for the pure, unadulterated terror radiating from the colossal Metroid. The air inside your helmet thickens with the acrid scent of ozone and the subtle, horrifying aroma of rapidly draining life force. Its shrieks, once bone-chilling, now sound impossibly close, a desperate, guttural scream that vibrates through the very reinforced glass of its containment. You watch, helpless, as something unseen, something insidious, clamps onto the Metroid's translucent, bell-shaped body. Dark tendrils, too fast to properly register, seem to coalesce from the fluid around it, their tips digging deep into its vulnerable tissue. A profound, violent shudder racks the Metroid's massive form, its pulsing internal light flickering erratically, desperate. Its fangs, usually a symbol of its own predatory nature, now scrape uselessly against the glass. A frantic, impotent struggle. Your enhanced senses scream at you, identifying the horrifying process. A massive energy siphon, active and relentless, draining the Metroid of its very life force. You feel the chaotic energy spikes, the raw vitality being ripped away, the Metroid's immense power diminishing with terrifying speed. It's a process of brutal, controlled extraction, turning the hunter into the hunted, the apex predator into a helpless victim. Another shriek, weaker this time, an almost choked sob of despair, tears from the Metroid's throat. Its multifaceted eyes, once wide with terror, now begin to glaze over, losing their frantic focus. Its writhing brain segments slow, its powerful body trembling with involuntary spasms. The viscous fluid around it churns, agitated by its dying struggles, a silent witness to the brutal, drawn-out torment. You press your gauntleted hand against the cold glass, a futile, instinctive gesture. You can feel the Metroid's fading warmth, its weakening pulse, the final, desperate tremors that run through its immense form. The cold, sterile architecture of Turian suddenly feels more menacing than ever, a stark backdrop to this raw, visceral act of destruction. There's nothing you can do, no way to intervene, no shield to offer. This siphon of life, this primal fear and visceral struggle, is a horrifying testament to the fragility of even the most formidable creatures. Here, witnessing the slow, agonizing demise of a legend, you realize that true power is not just about strength, but about the insidious ability to steal it, to drain the very essence of life itself, leaving behind only the chilling echo of a desperate, dying scream. A faint, persistent ache, deep beneath the reinforced plating of your various suit, is a constant, subtle companion. It's not disabling, but a deep, structural memory of every impact, every searing heat, every crushing pressure you've endured. The air within your helmet, perfectly regulated, still carries the ghost of scents: ozone, sulfur, damp earth, acid, each a whisper of a past challenge. You move through a familiar corridor, its walls of cold, dark stone, a silent witness to your journey. Your steps are firm, confident, but the subtle flex of your suit's hydraulics carries a history of hard-won agility, of morphing through impossibly tight spaces, of leaping across molten chasms. Every movement, every precise articulation of your gauntlets or boots is imbued with the echoes of countless battles, countless escapes. You pass a section of wall that still bears the scorch marks of a close call with a plasma attack, a dark, star-shaped burn etched into the stone. Your gloved hand instinctively brushes against it, feeling the rough texture. On your own suit, an almost invisible hairline fracture, a barely perceptible stress line in the shoulder plating, acts as a physical reminder of a brutal, close-quarters combat. It's a badge of honor, a silent testament to endurance, a part of you now, a scar woven into the very fabric of your survival. Your internal diagnostics display a steady green, systems operating at peak efficiency, yet the underlying algorithms carry the complex data of every repair, every patch, every ingenious adaptation made on the fly. You are more powerful than before, your capabilities vastly expanded, but this power is not pristine. It is forged from necessity, tempered by fire, honed by endless struggle. The knowledge of weakness, of fragility, is deeply ingrained, making your strength all the more profound. A distant, low hum from the planet's core resonates through your boots, a familiar presence. You listen to it now, not with apprehension, but with an almost knowing recognition. You understand its rhythms, its immense indifferent power. You have faced it all: the brutal surface, the living caves, the searing depths, the crushing waters, the cold, logical fortresses, the cosmic void. And you have endured. These scars of survival, this body and spirit transformed, are more than just physical marks. Here, on a planet that has tried relentlessly to break you, you realize that true transformation isn't just about gaining new abilities, but about the profound, indelible changes wrought by experience. You are no longer merely a visitor. You are a product of this world, a testament to the unyielding power of resilience, eternally shaped by the relentless, beautiful, brutal act of enduring. A profound, quiet strength settles deep within your core, a resolute calmness that transcends all physical sensation. The air within your suit, perfectly balanced, feels like the very breath of purpose, invigorating every cell, every circuit. Your every move, every subtle shift of weight, is imbued with the hard-won wisdom of 1,000 battles, 1,000 moments of clinging to life. You stand on a high promontory, overlooking a vast, alien landscape, bathed in the muted light of a setting sun. The wind whips past, carrying the familiar sense of criteria, dust, ozone, the distant tang of minerals. It's a world that has tried to break you in every conceivable way, a crucible that has tested your limits, redefined your understanding of endurance. Yet you stand unyielding, an immovable force against its relentless will. Your hand, gloved and powerful, rests on your arm cannon. It hums with latent energy, a silent promise of destructive force, but also a tool for survival, for progress. You no longer merely react. You anticipate. Your senses, a complex symphony of environmental data, threat assessment, and strategic planning. The fear that once pricked at the edges of your awareness has been tempered, refined, transmuted into a keen, unwavering vigilance. You recall the desperate, gnawing emptiness of energy depletion, the crushing pressure of Meridia's depths, the searing grip of Norfair's inferno. Each memory is a brick in the foundation of your resolve, a reminder of how far you've come, what you've overcome. You are a living testament to adaptation, to the relentless drive to learn, to grow, to simply refuse to be extinguished. The very scars on your suit, once marks of damage, are now symbols of triumph, etched into the steel and your spirit. A distant, low growl echoes from a cavern far below, a familiar sound of primal threat. You track its origin, its movement pattern, its vulnerabilities, not with hatred, but with a cold, clear logic born of necessity. This planet, its creatures, its elements, have become your sparring partners, your teachers, forging you into something new, something unbreakable. This survivor's resolve, this forging of self in the cosmos, is the ultimate testament to the indomitable spirit. Here, on a world that has stripped you bare and rebuilt you stronger, you realize that true power isn't just about what you can destroy or what you can gain, but about the profound, unyielding will to define yourself against the infinite, indifferent universe. It's about finding purpose in persistence, strength in survival, and an unbreakable identity in the relentless, beautiful, brutal act of simply being.